Welcome to Business First TV. My name is Tino. At many points during your business life, you'll sit back and question either how well you're doing or how well you could be doing. And it's always good to have somebody on board who can basically look at your business from a different angle and tell you or give you different options that will help you move forward. I have with me today Stuart Blyth, who's absolutely amazing. Welcome aboard, Stuart. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Tino?
Yeah, terrific. So tell me exactly what it is that you do.
Well, we have a very unique take on how businesses need to move forward.
Okay.
And we work exclusively with businesses, and especially the leaders and the directors and the owners of businesses who love sport. Because we want to show them how they can take their businesses forward by tapping into their passion for sports.
Okay, all right. How does that work in terms of planning and getting the right people on board and so on?
Well, if they understand the sports analogy, which is all about teamwork and how you build a great team, we make them, if you like, the head coach of that team, and we give them the tools that we develop by talking to a lot of the top coaches on how to build a team, because they have a very specific methodology for moving forward.
Okay. Now, you and I both have managerial backgrounds and we understand people, but I'm not so strong on sport. I just don't see what everyone else sees. So why don't we talk about a bit more about that in terms of possibly having the right strikers on board, having the right defence on board and so on.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter which team sport you're talking about, there is always a formation that the coach tries to put onto the pitch. And we translate that into business speak by saying, who is the team that is currently running your projects?
Okay.
Have you got the right people in the right positions to deliver the end result for you? And it doesn't matter whether it's a marketing project or a sales project, it's all project based. And when you think about it, a game or a match is a project that you win or lose. Okay. So where do these people fit into the team, and what is the purpose for them being there? If you take a sports analogy, you will always see where the gaps are.
Okay.
And so we get them to write out, if you like, a team sheet and a team formation. And it shows, have you got enough defenders? Have you got enough strikers? Have you got the right balance to pull the project off?
And how do you associate the strikers, for example, to a company? What is a striker in a company? What does he do? Well, or what does she do?
Well, in our view, the striker in most instances will be that killer salesperson who you want to score a winning contract every time they walk into a room with a client. Okay. That's really all you want them to do. In the same way that if you pay £200 million for a striker, you don't want them to be the goalie this week. Okay. You want them to be in the other company's penalty area shooting the goals.
Okay, okay. Do you find then that a lot of companies have people multitasking, doing different things?
I think at the lower end of the corporate structure or company's size, people have to multitask. Yeah. And you always hear people saying, I like people with transferable skills. As you go up the corporate size, you're really looking for specialists, because that's where they can be most effective.
Yes.
And so when you're looking at a sports team, you are looking for a team of specialists or a team of individuals who are specialists that you can mould into a team. And that's what you really need to do in your business, because it's no good you having a top striker and asking them to be the secretary or the PA. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's fair to say, if you look at many successful companies today, they do well because they have the right people in the right places.
They do, but they don't have all the right people in the right places. Yeah. And that's why they struggle, because they take it so far and then they kind of get a lot of generalists on board.
Okay. Yeah.
But when you look at, and this is what's fascinating, when you look at job descriptions for many organisations, they are very specific about the type of person they're looking for, but then they don't go and hire that person. Okay. They go out with a generalist.
Okay, all right, okay. And this is where you help people out? You help them?
Absolutely. We really sit down with them and say, who are you looking for? Who is the best person in your industry that you need to bring into that position? Because you need the best. If you're not hiring the best, then in our view, they're working for your competition. And we know what happens when the best people work for your competition.
They do better than we do.
They do better than we do.
Yeah.
And so you really need to have that mentality. because sports coaches are always looking for better people.
At what stage, or at what point did you decide to take to put this model in place, take it from pitch to boardroom?
Very interesting you asked me that. I spent more than 25 years working in the corporate sector, and I was asked to manage teams of various shapes and sizes within the confines of a corporate culture. And the issue that I came across was that I wasn't allowed to develop the team that I was asked to manage in an appropriate fashion that allowed me to get to the end result, because there were too many constraints.
Yeah.
And as a result, I thought there must be a better way of doing this, and I defaulted back to my passion, which is sports, to look at how do the top coaches start to put these teams together. And working with some of the top coaches, it became very evident that there is a framework that they use to put these teams together.
Okay.
Obviously personality plays a part, but it's not the personality that we're interested in. We're interested in the framework. So if you do steps 1 to 5, what do I end up with? If I do steps 1 to 7, I get a different result.
Sure.
But you need to understand how it fits together.
Okay. Okay. And this framework is one that can apply to any business?
Any business at all, and it applies at any level.
Okay.
So it can apply at project level, at a division level, or a corporate level, because at the end of the day, we all work in teams.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is the best team for this instance that you're trying to put together?
Okay.
And you may not have all the right people.
Tell me about your business and your packages and the services that you offer.
So our business, as I said, we work with companies in excess of £5 million turnover, because they have to have a critical mass to move forward and enough people that we can start to work with. And the idea is that we work with the senior team who will have a passion in sport. They either advertise or they sponsor sport in some fashion. They may be a fan. They may actually coach junior teams. So they get the analogy, and what they are passionate about in terms of helping these people play, we bring into their business life, which makes it very relevant to them and something that they can revisit all the time.
In terms of the services that you offer then, what can you tell about that?
So we offer a range of services that we provide our clients with, from coaching and mentoring of the senior team to understand the methodology. We run a series of training workshops. We run a series of seminars. And you know, one of the things that we do that everybody loves in our programs is we built a board game to help people understand the whole process.
Oh, fantastic.
And when we play with groups of people, even though they have the same problem that they're grappling with, the divergence of ideas about who needs to be in that team is a fundamental learning point. Because I can look and say, Tino, you're a great salesperson. I want you as my sales director. Somebody else coming from a different angle might say, no, Tino's not sales. He's actually business development, which is a totally different function.
Absolutely.
And the learning is in, why is there this difference, and how do we come to a compromise that ends up with the right result?
Okay, okay. Tell me about your seminars. What happens there?
Well, in the seminars, we get people to really start to think about the makeup of a team. We hear a lot about team building and we all work together, but our research shows if you ask team leaders, directors of teams and senior leaders, can you tell me what is the best skill of each individual on that team? They don't know.
Okay.
They really have no idea. They have a vague notion this person's quite good at this or that. If you ask any sports coach, what does that player do for your team? They will be able to tell you in intricate detail why they are there.
Why do you think that is? Is it because the coaches spend more time engaging with their players and the managers don't spend so much time engaging with their employees?
That's absolutely the case. When we talk to our clients, we often find that the managers are not managers, they're actually players.
Okay.
They spend too much time doing the job than coaching other people to do the right job.
Okay.
And when we point this out to them, we say, you never see a top sports coach run onto the field of play if the game's not going well. But that is the first thing that happens in a business.
Okay.
And so you really need to get them to take a step back, because they need to have, if you like, the helicopter view of what's going on, so they can influence and see what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get into being a player, you lose that objectivity.
Okay. Do you find that smaller companies are the ones that are probably struggling the most in this area?
I think smaller companies are struggling the most because they don't have the resource necessarily to get everybody on board. And that's not necessarily a big problem in today's economy, because I think the term has now come out, gig economy, where people go from one gig to another on a temporary or a contracted basis. So they could also use the methodology if they understood when they needed that contractor to come into the business, because the chances are you may only need them for 3 months or 6 months. You don't need them as a permanent employee, but you need to know who they are. And with social media, they're advertising their specialities everywhere.
What's your view on social media?
Social media is a great place to learn and to meet people. So we get a lot of feedback from our clients to say it's easy for the sports coaches to identify the key players that they need because they are in the media all the time, either on the television, in the newspaper, they're being interviewed. So it's much easier for them to say, I need that player, I need that person to come into my team. What they've not recognised is that with the advent of social media, the people that you want are on social media. And if you know who you're looking for or the type of skills you're looking for, you can find them.
Okay.
They advertise in the same way.
Tell me about one key hire.
Interesting. One key hire was, has come out of a piece of research that we conducted, where we looked at a number of different professional sports over the last 10 years. So we looked at some UK-based sports, some American-based sports, and we asked the question, who won the championship in the current year and where were they the prior year? And what was the difference in the playing personnel that made them go from third or fourth to first? And the research shows overwhelmingly it was one key transfer.
Just explain that.
So a team that comes third or fourth has desires to win the championship the following year. The coach has said, I don't have the right team in place. So they go into the market and they say, I need a number of players to come in. And when we looked at who they bought, and we looked at the outcome, one key player stood out amongst all the others that made the difference. And so when we talk to our clients and our prospective clients about this whole idea, they often think that they need wholesale change to go to the next level. And we say, it's actually not wholesale change. You probably find it's one key hire. Let us help you identify where in your organisation that person needs to fit, and then it's your job to go and find the best person that you can. And as a result of this, we are going to publish a new book around this whole idea. And we're going to interview the top Premiership coaches who have made this happen. Which will be a fantastic read, because we want to know how did they identify the gap, who did they seek out, and did it meet their ultimate objective, which I think will be a great learning for everybody. And
also come out of your on the interviews.
Correct.
So you've written a book. The book is right here. It's called From Pitch to Boardroom. Tell me about the book.
Well, the book is an outline to the whole methodology. And it took about 9 months to write. And I worked with some great coaches who gave me some ideas about how they go about finding the right players. And it starts off from the concept of building a dream team. We hear about dream teams all the time. If you don't know what a dream team looks like or what your dream team looks like, you can never get there. If you have a vision for what it needs to be, the book then lays out in a framework the nuances you need to look at depending on how you want your business to move forward.
Could somebody buy this book and could they use a model in here?
Yes, they can use it. It's been designed to allow people to pick it up. They can read a chapter or two. It's a how-to guide.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a quick and simple, let me see if I can understand this particular aspect.
Yeah.
And it goes into all parts of team play.
People who are watching today or listening today who want to know more, what should they do?
They can contact me via the website from pitchtoboardroom.com or email me at stuart@fp-tb.com.
It sounds like we can put this pitch to boardroom into any business. But like anybody else who gets given manuals, we like to meet people and find out what happens. So tell me more about if I read the book and I like what I'm reading and I want to contact you and I do that, what happens then? What can I expect to happen?
Well, if you contact us, we'll obviously have a conversation over the phone and we'll try and understand whether you believe that you have a problem that you need to resolve, because we're not here to force our solutions onto you.
Okay.
If you say, look, I really have a problem with the team, or I'm really not sure which way to go, then the best thing for us to do is to meet, and we can show you in the course of an hour or 90 minutes some of the things that we do with our clients, and you'll know whether it's right or not for you.
Okay.
Because you might have misunderstood how we do it, but when we show you some of the ideas, you might say, that's exactly what I need.
Stuart, thanks for coming on. If you were to leave us with one final thought, what would that be?
A great final thought that we always leave our prospective clients and our clients with is, you have a favourite sport that you like. The best thing that you can do to understand what we're about is next time you're watching your favourite team or you're coaching a team, think about the positions and the team structure that are in front of you. Then see if you can map that team structure into your business.
Okay.
Because you should be able to match it. If you can't, then you know that the business team is wrong.
Okay, thank you. So Stuart, tell me how your business differs to other businesses that are out there today.
Great question, Tino. We are unique from the point of view that nobody else that we can find is attacking these fundamental team issues from the sports coaching angle.
Okay.
There are lots of companies out there that will help you try and develop a leadership team, but it's difficult because it's not based in any emotional connection.
Okay.
And our clients get great results because of the emotional connection with a personal passion of theirs.
Okay.
And it makes total sense to them at all stages.
Okay.
That's why we're unique.
So who are your competition today?
I don't believe we have any competition because we're unique in our take on how to build a team.
If you're looking to grow your business, if you think that your team can perform better, if you're not too sure how to make your team perform better, then give Stuart a call. You've got his details from earlier in the show, or visit from pitchtoboardroom.com. Thanks for watching. My name is Tino from Business First TV.